Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Hey everyone.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
Our viewing party. We forgot to say it last time, so we feel really accomplished that we said it this time.
Yeah, and we really kind of ate, didn't we? Thank you. Oh, well, we have some extra giggles in the studio today.
I was gonna say his house.
Just in case you didn't notice,
Oh.
we are joined by two silly little girlies, Miss Nicole and Christen Rangel.
Ooh, I have never heard you. You always say Christen and Nicole when you talk about them, so you say Nicole and Christen really threw me off.
Christen and Nicole. That felt weird too.
Easier.
Yeah.
It's because I was looking Nicole
Yeah.
and Christen.
Okay. My
We're
brain
like-
Do you guys know, before we get really into it,
Mhm.
do you guys know that anytime I refer to twins, any twins anywhere, I call them Christen and Nicole?
Wait, what
Do
do
you
you mean?
guys didn't know? This is a running joke I have with Parker during Drag Race Sugar and Spice.
No.
Throughout the whole season,
Stop.
I just called them Christen and Nicole.
I love that.
So
Wait,
they're-
who's sugar? Who's spice? Can I be sugar?
Yeah, well,
She's spicy.
yeah, you're a little
She-
spicier.
You think I'm spicier than
yeah,
her?
a little.
Really?
You can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
See how she
I
lowered
would
it?
say-
She was gonna go. You
Yeah.
think I'm spicy?
Yeah, I'm ready
I
to
do
fight.
love sugar and spice.
Yeah, if you guys
Yeah.
haven't gathered, we have twins. If you're
Yeah,
not
they're
watching,
twins.
we have twins on the couch.
Yeah.
Two twin girlies up in
Two
here.
twins.
Yeah.
Slay, thank you for joining us. So fun.
Well, here on this pod, did you tell them the questions that we usually ask? Oh, well, you guys are
I'm an
consumers of
avid
the pod.
listener.
Yeah, sorry.
I forgot to tell them about
She's
the
the
other
biggest fan.
question.
Oh, yeah, we haven't had that question in a while, so
you
this is
guys
going to be
are our
on the
first guest
spot.
in a minute.
What is your guys' favorite movie snack at home in the theater?
Yeah. Also, before you guys,
Oh,
well, think about it while I say this.
Okay.
So I obviously love a comfort movie. We all love a comfort movie. And truly, the two people that come to my mind when I think of comfort movies are these two.
Oh, really?
Because whenever you're at their house or anywhere, there's always going to be a movie playing in the background, and
That's true.
yeah,
That's
it's
true.
true.
No, it's true.
And it's always going to be something where you're like, oh my god, this movie,
Yeah.
like the movie that we're doing today, or
Yes.
many other. You guys always have a movie
It's
playing,
just the
or
vibe, you know?
or you guys always want to put on a fun movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
like when we were in Arrowhead, and
Yeah.
we slept over, and there's a thunderstorm at 3:00 at night, or 3 a.m. or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we didn't want to go to sleep, so we were like, let's put on some candles and watch a little movie, and we
Yep.
watched Austin Land, and that was the
Mhm.
best.
That
Oh
was
my
the first
gosh,
time I ever saw that
cute.
movie.
Yeah, it was so fun.
When I think of watching comfort movies, I think of you guys.
Oh,
Wow.
So that's why,
we love comfort movies.
I know. That's
I'm a
why
big comfort movie
you guys
girl.
were always one of the first people to come to mind, to be a guest.
Oh.
So I'm so happy you guys are finally here.
I know, I'm so excited. It's gonna be
Yay.
fun.
Okay, but so now that I said that,
Yes.
what are your favorite movies?
You want to go first? Oh,
Oh.
I could go first. I already know mine. Oh, okay. My so movie theater.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
both.
Oh,
Theater
okay.
and at home.
Yes.
Okay, well, at the theater, but there's one that I always get and one that I rarely get, but they're my favorites.
Okay, that's
Okay.
okay.
So the one that I always get is a cherry icy. I love
Oh,
cherry
you're the first to say
ices.
that.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
I have to get them. I don't know why. I'm addicted to them. I love them. But the thing that I rarely get, but when I want to, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get it. It's a pretzel.
Oh,
A pretzel.
I did the soft
Oh.
pretzel with the cheese. It's just kind of the vibe, you know.
It's pretty
It's-
cunty.
Yeah.
it is.
Wait.
It is a nice soft pretzel.
I feel I haven't had I need to do that.
Yeah,
because
no.
I love soft pretzels,
'Cause-
but I have never had it at the movie.
Yeah, and I never did that before. I was always a popcorn girly, and then
Sure.
one time I was like, you know what? Let me try a pretzel. Changed my life.
Whoa.
So do
Really
it.
shaking things up.
Yeah, with the cheese. Don't forget the cheese.
Oh,
Never.
uh,
Never.
You
Okay,
sit
and then
home.
now at home.
At home, when watching a movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
just
just a snack at home. It's so dumb, but honestly, I like apples and peanut butter.
That's not dumb.
She brought apples and peanut butter into the movie theater the other day. I literally and I
Hi
was
crunchy.
Like,
Hi
yeah,
nom,
no, yeah.
nom, nom.
I was
Maddie
sitting
would kill
there.
you.
We were watching
She's
Little
all-
Mermaid, and I was like, I smell peanut,
Peanut
butter.
butter.
And I look over and I was like, do you have peanut butter? And I looked at her and I was like, I had to bring my little snack. I wasn't feeling good, and I was like, I don't want popcorn. And I was like, I'm gonna do apples and peanut butter. So I like that,
I
and then
love apples and
coffee.
peanut butter.
I
Okay,
like
coffee.
a little iced coffee.
Yeah,
you know,
you're a little iced coffee girly.
and love it.
That's not that
Period.
weird because Tati brings blueberries to the movie theater.
I do.
Really?
I do.
Yeah.
I love blueberries.
She
Yeah.
always
like,
will have a like blueberries and her
and
her spin dress.
Oh,
so she'll like
really?
crack a can in a movie theater.
I
So
love
like,
that.
I
That's
love
the
that.
vibe. That's the vibe.
Yes. Okay, what do you
yeah,
got?
Kristen.
I'm still trying to think about it. Usually, I mooch off her icy.
Sure,
Okay,
Like
this
so,
is true.
Period.
Also in the movie theater, icy. I also like
Cherry icy to be specific.
Yeah.
specific cherry icy. I also like getting candy. I love the nerd clusters, and I love the ropes.
Oh
What
yeah,
are
yeah.
those
The
nerd
sour,
ropes?
the, like,
They're
or
not
the-
sour. They're like
Not the nerd ropes. The
maybe they're nerd.
red vine type Twizzler.
No, they're like I don't know what they're called.
A gummy straw of a sort.
Yeah, but
Slay.
they're not sour or anything. They're like really thick and
Oh.
like, but they're really
Yeah,
good.
she's definitely more a candy girl than
Okay,
me.
word.
Like
Okay.
I'll mostly do like popcorn or like bread
But I-
type
I do like
stuff.
popcorn.
But, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But sometimes she'll be like, ooh, oh, or I get what is it, dips?
Oh,
dips.
dips.
Yeah, the little
Yes.
chocolate.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Those are so
love
good.
those.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you have an at-home one? If you don't, it's okay.
I mean, you usually make popcorn.
Yeah, I
In-
do
with
usually
M&M.
make popcorn with
M&Ms.
M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
That's
and
me.
you
You like
guys
the
always have
chocolate?
like. I feel like you guys always have like a board of a sort. You guys always have like
Oh, like a cheese board.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like
true.
that.
That's
Many
also the
times I've been
vibe.
around with you guys, or like an Arrowhead. That's what we always get.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the easiest. I
Yeah.
also love cheese. Like
I
love
also
cheese,
like to
too.
do because especially if we're watching a movie like an Arrowhead that we've seen, I always
They
want
have
us
a
to do
cabin
like
in Arrowhead that
Yeah.
we've gone to frequently.
Yeah.
That's why we keep saying Arrowhead.
yeah, that's what we can say. But when we were up there, I always want to do, or even down here, when we're watching the same movie or something we've seen before, I like to do like little activities. So like
Mhm.
we'll
Oh my
bake
gosh, how
cookies
cute.
and we'll like decorate
Yes.
cookies a lot, just because it's like
Yeah.
something to do while
Oh
we
yeah,
watch.
we did that for Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so fun. It was
Oh
just
my
me
gosh,
and
you
Maddy.
guys are a
It was
good
fun.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We like little dinner parties.
Yeah.
and
We do, like,
we're
little
gonna make
activities.
little stuff
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like decorate cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Okay,
It's a good time.
I live.
I know, right?
I literally
So
live.
cute.
Great time. It's great.
Okay,
Good.
so now what was we also ask what like everyone's favorite media of the week was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you want to start?
No.
Great. I can start.
You start.
Slay. I
Maddie
have a
always
lot to
takes us in
say.
for a ride. Buckle up.
So I actually just finished on the way here listening to the Game of Thrones audiobook because we know I'm a Game of Thrones girly, obviously. And so I'm journeying through the books. And I just finished it and slay. Also, today I started Game of Thrones again, like the series. Well, yeah, and it was
Ooh.
so weird to revisit because I'm like a stan.
Yeah.
And like after reading the books, like I love like the contrast of like
Mm-hmm.
but also I'm like physically reading the most recent book in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is like fantasy, you know.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
Alexandros has been like at my
Yes.
throat to read them.
Yeah, I
You
bet.
know,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
read
yeah.
them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's
Oh,
like big.
He's like,
you've been
big
gone
fan.
for a while, but
Yeah. I
he's
was like,
like
I've been
getting
gone a while.
everybody on board to reading that.
Yeah.
We have a
Really?
couch in Bistro that we call the smut
Stop.
couch, me and Alexandros, because we
Yeah.
all are like reading our little like
Your little books.
Yes,
I love
so
that. That's
I've
so
been
fun.
big on that. Like I'm flying through this. It's like a
You're such a
800-page
fast
books.
reader. It's crazy. Like I'm super slow. I'm still on Benedict's book for Bridgerton,
Yeah.
and
But also, you're not going in order though. You're
yeah, but
jumping
I'm
around.
I haven't even finished that book. Like
Yeah.
since you gave it back,
oh yeah.
I have not like made
Yeah.
it done.
Yeah, I'm
Which
still
is
on,
okay.
still
You
on
read so
what's her
fast.
face's book too.
And
Francesca's?
Mhm.
Mm.
I still haven't
I
finished.
think I still have one more book.
Yeah.
One more Bridgerton book.
Yeah, I think that's what you said. Maybe
Yeah,
George.
Georgette.
Yeah.
Did I do Hyacinth?
I was gonna say
I-
she's the
I
last
think I
one,
might have.
I think George is the last one. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
Oh.
Don't quote
I
me
don't
on that.
remember. They're big Bridgerton girlies.
We love
Yeah.
Bridgerton.
Yeah, like we went
Oh,
to the
Queen
Bridgerton
Charlotte?
ball
Oh,
together.
that
Yes.
too? Oh my gosh.
You didn't go to the
I
Bridgerton
didn't
ball,
go
huh?
to the ball.
Dude, it was
We went
like,
together.
it
It
was
was
the
so
best
crazy.
time of my life. Probably one of the best nights I've ever
Do you
had,
guys
like in my life.
remember when he like walked up to us and like pulled us
Yes.
to dance in front of everybody?
Oh, my heart
Yes.
was beating so fast. I was
That
like,
was
I don't
so
know what to do.
magical.
It was so
It was,
magical.
and at first too, it was funny because you know how he comes out and like bows for the queen and stuff. I thought he was some random dude, and then he started dancing, and I was like, okay, he's like
We
a
were
little
like-
bit extra.
we were like,
and then I
relax.
was yes, we were like, calm down, and then we're like, oh, it's a part
oh,
of
he's
the
a paid actor.
Yeah, he's a paid
Yeah.
actor. I was
Exactly.
like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then he walked up to me
Yeah.
and was
Yes.
like, "Can you
Come dance.
Yes.
And then
Maddie.
I was all,
I
Maddie,
like-
go, Maddie,
And we
go.
were like, "Come on." He was like, your whole group.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It
So
was
we're the bells
fun.
of the ball,
It was
everybody.
a sleigh time.
Oh,
I
We were
loved
the
it.
diamonds though.
We weren't the I
That
thought for
cute old
sure.
lady was.
I know.
The
And I'm
cute
so
old lady
happy for
always
her.
takes it home.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for her.
I know.
But I
you
thought
wanted-
for sure
I know,
it
I
was
was
going to be
like-
one of us.
Please be me. So,
Anyways,
yeah.
but yeah, I've been reading that. I think that's kind of all that I have.
Yeah.
I don't think
Favorite
I've watched
media?
really anything.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, the Vanderpump Rules finale.
Oh my
You
gosh,
watched
you watched that?
You
I
God.
know
I-
the drama. I know
yeah,
the drama,
I've
but I don't
seen-
watch it.
I
He's
don't.
a cheater, right? That's what it is?
Yes, I'm not
Okay.
like an avid watcher, but I watched. I like had to watch the drama.
Yes,
and
yes.
Jake
Yes.
Siaka knows them.
Really?
Yes,
I
like,
would
one of our like
Yeah,
coworkers
Big
and our
T.
friends.
Yeah.
And so he was like, Maddie, have you watched? And I was like, no, like back a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I got the tea, telling me about how like all of the drama that he witnessed. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so then I had to watch
Yeah.
the reunion.
Yeah.
So I finished that.
That's wild.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
I
all I
just
got.
get like TikToks of it, but I kind of like follow up, and then my friend
Wow,
Carolina
with the
really loves it,
mustache.
so she like tells me like everything. I'm like,
It's
oh.
iconic.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Crazy.
Ugh.
Wild.
Okay. Do you have anything?
Well, I guess we all kind of watched. Wait, I don't know if both of you did, but we
Oh.
did go see Joseph and the Amazing
Oh,
Technicolor
yeah, we
Dreamcoat.
did.
Okay, both of you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really
That
the
was
only
really
media
good.
that I mean,
It was really
quote,
so
unquote.
good.
Mhm.
I loved it.
The boys stole the show, like the brothers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Did,
yeah.
did they? Because on our night, it was like the preview night. The audience did not stop clapping.
Well, that's
Oh, my friend's
That's-
husband, Josh,
Yeah.
my friend
That's-
Mackenzie, the one that does. What's the name of the song?
Canaan Days.
Yes.
That's her.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was so good. I
Literally.
was freaking out,
Yeah.
dude. He was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's a
Oh my
marvelous marvelous Mr. Maisel. He's on marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Like
Oh,
he's
oh,
like,
really?
yeah, big.
He's
Mega slay.
talented. Like
No,
we were
yeah.
watching it, and I was like, this guy is really good.
Everyone in
comedy
that
comes in
show was
threes.
crazy, which especially because Joseph has never been like my favorite musical.
Mhm.
It's always
Sure.
kind of been like, I like it, it's cute,
Yeah.
but when I watched it, I was not expecting much, and then they just went in with a bang,
so
and I was
good.
like, oh, I need to rewatch this.
Yeah,
I was like,
it
this
was
is
really
so good.
I think it
funny.
has a few more weeks. So
Yeah.
if you guys are in like the LA area, Orange
Mhm.
County area, go see Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah.
The full name.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like
It was
Joseph.
kind
I
of
don't
a
know
great
anything.
time.
Yeah, it was.
It was
Yeah.
camp. It was
Yeah.
cats, but with biblical characters, and
That's
I live.
exactly what
Yeah.
it is.
I live.
No, my parents were, it's so funny because they don't know anything about Joseph. So when they went, they really thought it was going to be some type of like biblical like teaching.
serious.
like they
Like,
thought it was
super
going to be
serious.
serious. And then they were cracking up. They were like, this
That's
is the
so
best.
funny.
They were like scared it was going to be serious. And they were like,
Yeah.
I don't want to sit through 2 hours of this.
And we told them though, we were like,
Yeah.
no, it's like
Like,
a
Mom,
kid
it's not
show.
Les Mis.
Yeah, it's not like this.
It's camp.
Yeah.
It's a perfect cross between Andrew Lloyd Webber, Jesus Christ Superstar, and Cats.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
Meet
perfect
meet
union of the
halfway.
two.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
I
Ugh.
live. But yeah, I guess that was my media. I didn't really
Same.
watch
Yeah.
You
anything
guys
else.
have anything else?
Well, this past week we watched 3 movies in a row at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we
In one
were
day.
there from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember you guys
Wait,
did
what?
this
It was
the other
cra-
day.
We watched
Because we had to
Fast and
catch
Furious.
up
Yeah,
on
we had to catch
everything.
up. We watched Fast and Furious, then we watched Little Mermaid, and then we watched Across the Spider-Verse.
And we had
Oh.
like 30, 40 minutes in between each. So we
That's
like went to go get
so
food.
wild.
And then it was wild.
Because the day
It was
I saw you guys the day before.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys said you were going to see 2 movies.
Yeah.
And then you guys did
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we weren't gonna see Across the Spider-Verse, and then Nate and Christian were like, we should, and then I
Yeah.
was like, it's late. The movie started at like
And I was like,
9.
yeah, like 9 or 10. And I was like, we're just going to be sitting here. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
we're already here. Let's just buy the tickets. So we
Yeah.
got the tickets. We
That's
got food. And then
wild.
we went back.
Oh
and we
my
watched it.
God.
I snuck
Gosh.
in fries from Lazy Dog.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
because
We
I was
took-
like, I need food.
We
Yeah.
took
cheesecakes.
cheesecakes from
Cheesecake
Cheesecake
Factory.
Factory into the Little Mermaid.
Did you? I love
And
that.
I
But she
said
lost
during
her fork.
I did. I
That's
did.
so
My
we had to
Dingle
share
Hopper
fork.
went away.
Yeah, it swam away. It
Yeah.
did.
Away, it did.
But those were like the 3 medias, I guess, that we saw,
Yeah.
which all of them were
We also
amazing.
watched Aquamarine.
Oh, right.
yes.
We did
Oh,
watch
that was
Aquamarine
fun.
in the
I
movie.
love that on
Mhm.
this couch.
Yeah.
Which
it
is
was
so
great.
funny because Tony yesterday
Mhm.
was like,
We were in the car
we were in
driving
the car, and
to
he's
Korean
like,
barbecue.
play, what's the song?
Islands
in the Sun.
in the
He was like,
sun.
play it, and I was like, because he never saw.
He's never
saw
seen.
before, right?
No,
That
he's
was
never
his
seen
first time
Aquamarine.
seeing it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was his first time.
Wow.
Oh,
Isn't that
I love that
crazy?
movie.
That
Yeah.
is crazy. Lexi, a former guest on the pod, had a birthday party and we watched that.
Yeah.
What a
Wow,
great
slay.
movie. Well, should we say the movie that
Amazing.
we're doing this week?
Yes.
Well, as you guys have, as we have told you, we have twins on the couch. So, what movie makes sense for us to do? The Parent Trap.
Not starring actual twins, though.
Listen, what age were you when you learned that Lindsay? Oh, there it is. What age were you when you learned that Lindsay Lohan wasn't an actual twin? Do you remember? Because I remember when the news was broken to
I don't
me and I
remember
was
the
shocked.
age, but it was old.
Yeah, it was older than I would like to admit.
I think I already kind of knew because I was all into like Herbie Fully Loaded and all those other movies, and I was like,
Yeah,
"There's
yeah.
only
Whoa.
one of her." And-
Okay.
but I didn't understand the concept of like how they did it. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
maybe her twin just doesn't act.
That's
I was
what
like,
I think I
you know what
thought.
I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't get it, and then when it was all revealed, and I was like, oh my gosh, what the
Yeah.
heck? And her double. Have you seen her double too?
No.
So like in
Uh-uh.
those scenes, the fencing scenes,
Sure.
Right.
obviously it has to be a real
Right.
person. So the little girl, she kind of looks like her, but she has like fake red hair. And
Yeah.
all that stuff. And they're
Imagine
the same
starring
height.
in a very famous movie
And never having your face
never having your face shown
Uh-uh.
at all. Like that sucks.
Oh
Wild.
my gosh.
I
I
hope
wonder-
that girl is doing well.
Yeah,
I
me
know.
too.
Oh my
I
god.
kind of want to Google her. I wonder what she's up to
I
these
know, me
days.
too.
That's
No,
wild. That's
seriously.
gonna be my Google
Work.
on the way back home.
Wow. Well,
Well,
1998 classic.
I
Yes.
Is that the year
know.
you guys were born?
The year before.
1997.
Oh, okay.
That would have been so cool though.
I
I know.
No.
I was like
That's
doing
such
the
a
math. and I was
bummer.
Born
like,
during Titanic.
Yeah, and
the release of
Tarzan.
Titanic.
Tarzan. Yep, I was in
Yeah.
1997 baby too. Tarzan. That's my favorite.
I
animated
always
movie.
associate like certain years of my life with movies that came out during that
Yeah.
time.
I'm sure.
You know? You know,
well,
so.
because you guys are movie girls.
Movie
Movie
girls.
girls.
Okay,
We are movie
slay.
girls.
So when we get to the opening, the movie begins.
Yes.
First of all,
Oh.
a Nancy Myers.
Oh,
film.
Nancy,
Myers!
She's and we
She's
know
our
Nancy
girl.
Myers stands.
Yes, I'm a
Nancy Myers
big-
stan. Do you know who
Okay,
Nancy
word.
Myers?
I don't think. Well,
So she's a director, but she's also an interior designer, and she did
Mhm.
movies like
Father of the Bride.
Bride.
Okay.
The original.
It's Complicated with Meryl Streep.
The Holiday.
The Holiday.
Yeah.
What else did she
I
do?
love The Holiday.
She's just done all
What's
of those
the-
like.
What's the one with Jack Nicholson?
Oh, something's got to give.
Oh, something's
Oh,
with Diane Keaton.
yeah,
With
Diane
Diane Keaton.
Keaton.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like anytime
She
you see a
has, like,
really
a-
beautiful house like in the Parent Trap,
Sure.
those two houses, like she
Yeah.
designed them.
Yeah.
Which I think is
Whoa.
crazy.
Which I mean, Nicole's an interior designer.
That's true.
That's the perfect marriage of you
Yeah,
guys.
literally. And you work in
Nancy
movies.
Myers is like our mother.
Yeah.
Mother.
Nancy, adopt me. But yeah.
Oh, so
That's
iconic.
wild.
So
Yeah.
that's why the houses like look so beautiful in this
And
movie.
just like
Oh,
the
yeah.
aesthetic of all those
It's
movies are very
gorge.
similar and why they give the same same
Same
vibe
energy.
because
Yes.
she did them all.
And you always see like TikToks of like Nancy Myers,
Myers,
like
yeah.
core.
You get those too?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's why Lexi's
Mhm.
Oh my gosh,
birthday
I need to
was
be on Nancy Myers TikTok.
Yes,
Oh,
me
yeah, that's a
too.
vibe.
We'll send you
It's
stuff.
vibe.
Yeah,
Like
please.
Nancy
I
Myers,
wanna-
like Nora Ephron, they all kind of feel the
Mhm.
same.
Yeah. Very like
Mhm.
coastal grandmother. Have you heard that
Yeah.
term?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
She's
Nancy
like-
Myers.
yeah,
like,
that's
what
Nancy
it,
Myers.
like
Yeah.
that's Diane.
I need to
Keaton's
get on this
character.
side of TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you have
girl.
to.
It's a vibe.
I
It's a
would
moment.
live.
It's a moment.
Yeah.
Well, there
Anyways,
you go.
so we
Anyways,
get
opening.
Oh,
It's for the way you look.
I
was just gonna say that. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good.
so
It's like
good.
What a
so
good
romantic.
opener.
I
Like and on the boat and
know.
everything.
Oh,
Like
on the
yeah.
Kiwi too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't see who it. There's just like these shots
No.
of
Yes.
hands and pouring
Mhm.
shrimp. It's like
Yes.
romantic. Also,
Yes.
I didn't know this was introducing Lindsay Lohan. I was like,
Oh, really?
yes,
Is that
that's what it said.
Wow.
Introducing
Wow.
Lindsay Lohan.
Good
I
for
was like,
her.
the fact
Yeah,
that
good for her.
this was her first.
Yeah.
She's
She's
like,
iconic for that.
Yeah.
She really is.
she's so good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wild.
And then at the very end, they take a snapshot, and it's the two parents.
it's a picture, and we get
Uh-huh.
Natasha Richardson and
Oh,
Dennis
rest in
Quaid.
peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace,
I
our
know.
literal icon, Natasha
I
Richardson.
know.
We'll get back to her later.
Yeah.
But then we go to a camp.
We go to the camp.
We have
with
our
the
notes.
iconic
Yeah, I have my notes.
music.
I'm gonna pull them out.
Yes.
I wanted to say that I want to go to a camp like this. Like
Yes.
even as
Shut
an
up.
adult.
I literally wrote that.
Stop, really?
I always
Twins.
want to go to some camp like this.
well, I said even now. Like I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
there to be an adult summer camp.
There are. There
Are they
are.
really?
I know.
Isn't it like for business though? Like
don't know.
you got to
Like
go
team
for
building?
Yeah,
Did you
team
guys ever
building
go to
activities.
any type of summer camp?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Well,
did too.
Yeah,
I went to a Girl Scout camp.
We also like
Scout.
worked at
Fucking
the summer
hated it.
camp that we went to
Okay.
for like
Yeah.
years and years, but it
But
was
it
at
wasn't
like
like
our
a
old school.
stayover.
Yeah, it
camp.
was like
Oh,
a day.
was it?
It was a day
No, it was
camp.
I went to
Oh.
stay over
I
camp.
love that.
I
think I was
hated
too
it.
scared though. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because you're not
It's
with
kinda scary,
anybody.
yeah.
Like you're
No.
with all new people. And
Yeah, and I hated like
Oh.
Girl Scouts. My mom forced
Mm.
me to be in Girl Scouts
Yeah.
for like way longer than I wanted to,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
she was gonna be like, "It looks good in college," and then I literally never went to
LOL.
college.
I did
Yeah.
Girl Scouts for like
I
a
hated
second.
it.
Yeah.
But I went to
Yeah.
camp and I wanted it to be like this, and it
Yeah.
so
Oh,
wasn't.
was it?
Even the
Oh.
way the two girls they both show up individually and they both make friends automatically. I'm like, wow, good for you.
I know.
could
It was
never.
not easy.
Were you like that
me.
young though, or were you older?
Yeah, I was like
Oh,
that
you were
young.
that
I was
young?
like 11.
Mm.
hmm
Oh my
And you,
gosh.
how long did you stay there?
5 days. I did it
Oh,
twice.
wow.
One time it was just like a generic camp. One time it was like a water sports camp. I had more fun with the water one.
Okay.
I learned how to flip a canoe.
Ooh.
So like if a canoe flips over, I can
You
flip
know
it.
how to
I
do
know how to
that.
flip it back
Great
over.
for
Come on,
our
Girl
hands.
That's
Scout.
what we were doing in Arrowhead. We were flipping the kayaks.
Oh, yeah.
Because we wanted to jump into them.
Yes.
I remember
You're
that.
good talent. It's being used.
Put that on
Thank
your
you.
resume.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect canoe.
Yes.
Canoe flipper. Special talent.
I should
Canoe
hard
flipping.
skills. Well, not my hard skills. Kristen's helping me with my resume.
I am.
Hard
Oh,
skills. You
canoe
gotta
flipping.
gain those hard skills.
That's
Flip a-
so
flip a
funny.
canoe.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But yeah, the girlies are at camp.
Yes.
They
show up.
They show up.
They make friends.
They make friends.
They're separated and they don't see
my
each
notes
other.
have no like
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
Yeah,
no,
they-
like following.
No, no
the
following.
next thing that I had was I love the random fencing fight. That like they're
I was
both
gonna say
excellent at.
because first
Yeah.
they're separated and they're kind of like, oh, they don't know that they're
Yeah,
around
yeah.
each other.
We
and
see
Yes.
two
then,
girls that look a lot alike.
exactly.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
Marsha or whatever gets confused because she's like, don't put salt in the sugar shaker, whatever.
Yes.
And then she's like, didn't I just whatever? And so they don't know.
I need you to say what you said to me yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I watched this movie yesterday and I was with Maddy and I turned to her and I said, the Parent Trap tried to lie to us about all of these straight people in this movie
Yes!
because this movie has so many queer people in it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're like,
Tie-dye girl.
literally- tie-dye girl. The
tie-dye girl.
world's
100% tie-dye
the
girl.
greatest bisexual.
She's a bisexual
in the-
icon.
Yes.
Tie-dye girl.
And like the
Oh,
list
Lindsay-
goes on.
Lindsay
There is
Lohan, too.
literally
Yeah.
so many gays all around this movie.
Gays.
Yeah, I
So-
believe it.
So we have a count. Of
Yeah. We have
the
a
gays
count.
in this movie.
Yeah.
Tie-dye girls number
Tie-dye
one.
Tie-dye
girl.
girl's number one.
I think the other
Number
friend
two?
is also the girl with the glasses.
The girl with the glasses.
She
Yeah.
has to be.
We have the camp counselor with the ponytail.
Yes.
I was gonna say
Janice
her.
from Friends.
Yes.
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 Oh, yes.
She is.
And then
Yes.
And you know they're
I'm
they're
shocked.
both named Marsha. Like that's her.
Marva.
Oh, Marva.
Marva.
Okay, yeah, Marva.
The
But
Marvas.
The Marvas because
Mhm.
that's her mom.
Mhm.
That's so
Oh,
wild.
Weird.
I didn't connect that. And
Yeah.
then there was
I
the
didn't
guy
know
in the
that.
golf cart with Meredith at some point.
Yeah,
in the-
we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah,
So
this
we'll
is
keep the
as
count.
as
We'll keep
going.
the count.
going.
We have
Three.
three so far.
Yeah.
Three so far.
Three.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, all the girls arrive, and then like they're going
Fencing.
around. It's like the first day of activities. There's a
Yes.
fencing match.
Yes.
Literally
Which
okay.
I want to learn how to fence.
Me too.
Good.
Just,
No,
just to
literally.
say,
I
touche.
feel like it'd be
You know what I mean?
On guard.
Hard.
Well, okay, I said fencing at a camp. Also, how do they both know how to fence so well?
Okay, because
Like
the
British
English
girl, yeah,
understandable.
Annie, okay, Hallie, no,
No.
you
But
would
they're
never
both
learn how to
rich,
fence.
and
That's
fencing is
true.
a rich people sport.
But I
But like
feel
in NorCal, in a
NorCal,
winery.
Maybe I don't know.
I feel
Winery's
like
kind of giving
horse riding. Okay,
no.
horse
you know what I'm
riding,
saying?
but I don't know about. I don't know.
I'm like this.
Fencing is
fencing,
kind of
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Mhm. But they're both slay at it.
And they're
Yeah.
both
Yes.
slay at that and poker.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
they finally realize
Yeah.
that they're
So,
twins.
and then that's what I said. I was like, okay, Hallie, I get understanding to play poker. Annie,
Yes.
no. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm
Uh-huh.
like, how?
Uh-huh.
Does
So
this make sense?
okay, let's do it though. So they're fencing, and
Yeah.
then
Yes.
Miss Girl, who wins? Is it Annie wins?
the British, yeah.
Well, they both fall into the thing.
Hallie wins. No,
Hallie wins.
Hallie wins. I
They
think.
both fall into a
Yeah.
some water, and then they turn and they unmask, and they're
You're like,
like,
Okay, I wrote down that during this part, me and Nicole pretend to do this all the time in like Target or something like that. We'll walk by each other and we're like,
Wait,
and then see if other people like are like
react?
or like in the bathroom, I'll be washing my hands and I know that she's in the stall, and then she'll come out and then I'll
and
be
we'll
like,
look at each other in the mirror and we'll go.
and then see if anyone like see anybody's reaction.
We did that in LA after the Nutcracker, and this
hilarious.
woman was very confused because she.
Oh, yeah.
Kristen walks in, she sees her. They're like switching out of the stall or whatever.
She said she commented something on my hair. She was like, she said I look like Blair.
Oh,
From
Blair
Gossip
Waldorf.
Girl?
Come on,
She had,
Blair.
like,
Come
she
on,
had,
Blair.
like,
I had like
Sister.
a headband,
stuff.
whatever.
And then I go into the stall,
And then
she's washing
I
her hands
walk
like
into the
girl.
bathroom, and she sees me in the mirror, and she goes. And then I looked at her like, why is she looking at me
Yeah.
like that? Then I go into the bathroom. Kristen walks out of the bathroom, and then I walk out of the bathroom, and then she goes, that makes sense.
She was like, I thought I was really drunk.
Yeah, she was
like,
like, I thought I was really drunk right now, but
really
you guys
confused.
are twins, right? And we were like,
oh my
yeah,
God.
sorry.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have a similar story about you guys, but we all met working at Disney.
Mhm.
And one day, I don't know who I met first, but I worked
It was
with.
me.
It was you.
Yeah.
I
gonna
worked
say
with
Anna.
Nicole,
Yeah.
and we were like at animation. I was like,
Yeah.
ah!
And
we were like both
talking.
new, like
Yeah.
kikiing, you know.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, I see Kristen,
Mhm.
and I kind of am like, I think her hair is longer, but I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hi, And then Christen just being so nice because it probably happens regularly. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, hi.
That's why, like, even at work, like when we were working at Disney, I was so used to people coming up and being like, hey, also, I kind of have a bad memory. So sometimes I'm like, I don't remember if I met you or
Right.
not. But then I'm like, oh, they probably know Nicole, especially if they're like, Nicole. And then I'm like, oh. And I'm like, hi, actually, I'm Kristen.
I always
Yeah.
try to say
But
it
it's gonna be
nicely.
you.
I go, I'm actually her sister. And
Yeah.
they're like,
They
oh
get so
my gosh,
upset
I'm
though.
so
And I'm
sorry.
like, it's literally fine.
It's fine. We have the same face. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't get the twins that are mad.
Yeah,
And
they're
they're
like,
why
I'm
not?
not-
Why do you think I'm this? Because you look the
You have the
same.
same
Yeah.
face.
Like,
That's why.
understand
Yeah.
what can't
Also,
be understand?
we were working in a place where we didn't see the same people every day.
Yeah.
So it's not like I would, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like,
Yeah.
no.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we weren't in the same place every single day.
Right,
It was different
exactly.
people.
Yeah.
But it's just like that.
Yeah.
Wild.
Isn't that so funny?
Oh, wild.
Yeah, okay.
Wild.
So the camp is going on there. But they form a weird rivalry.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they have the same face. And they're like, you can have my face.
Also,
Get
the
out of
way,
here, bitch.
the way that Lindsay Lohan gaslights us into seeing a difference between the faces. Do
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I know.
She's like, your nose is like this, but your eyes are further apart,
Yeah.
and you look like
Which
this.
is like,
I have class.
and
you
don't.
don't.
And if they were real twins, I would get that because we have different,
Yeah.
she's the same girl.
But
you
I'm
can't
like-
sit there and be like, you have different features than me.
But we're all watching it and we're like, she's
Yes.
so right.
Uh-huh.
She's so
Uh-huh.
right.
You're like, I
Yeah,
believe so,
I
my
get
bestie,
it.
because
Your
your
eyes are farther.
Like
Yeah.
literally gaslit.
It's
Exactly.
so funny.
But you know what? That's just like goes this 12-year-old because these characters are so realized. Like
Yeah.
these two, they're
Yeah.
so different from each other. And then
Yeah.
when she's like flipping between the two, I'm
She
like,
did an amazing job.
this
No, she
12-year-old's
did.
really popping off.
Yeah.
Whoever her like acting coach was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really ate down.
Yeah.
I
Diva.
also wrote down that when they're like having their little hash out and they're talking whatever, there's a moment I think where they touch hands or something like that. And I said, that is real. The whole, when you go like this with your twin and you touch hands, it's a really weird feeling because that is my hand.
Yeah,
It feels like my
I tell her
hand.
that all the time because this literally feels like my other hand.
Wait, that's so weird.
But obviously I can't feel it
I've
because
seen
it's
you
her
guys do that
hand.
before.
But it's literally so similar that when I touch her hand, I'm like, that is
That's
so weird that I
weird.
can't
And it's like
feel it.
energetically, like
Yeah,
you're carrying
Well,
the
even
same.
just the feeling, like, because we have the same hand. So,
Right.
like, when I touch her hand, I'm like, that's literally the way
That's my
feels.
hand, but
You
it's
know what
on
I mean?
you.
Yeah.
you
That's
know?
wild.
Yeah, it's really
It's
weird.
weird.
So when they touched hands like that, I was like, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, give us all the twin facts.
Yeah, no, it's true. Because even now, me and Chris, even that, like doing that, when we touch hands, we go, ugh, that's
That's
weird.
why sometimes like are like, why don't you guys hug and stuff? And I'm like, because it
Because
feels,
it feels
weird.
weird.
'cause I feel like I'm hugging
myself.
myself.
It's just,
yeah.
it feels out of body experience.
My brain is breaking.
Isn't that
My
wild?
brain is breaking.
It's such a weird feeling.
I've heard them say this before, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah.
That's
It's
wild.
very
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Wacky.
So then the
Okay.
girls play poker.
Right.
Yes.
And then and they're both good at it,
Yeah.
which sure.
Yeah.
And then they make the bet. They're
Royal
like,
flush.
Oh, yes.
Royal
and so one of the twins has to
Jump in
jump into the
naked.
water. I
Which
don't
is
remember
like,
who, the British
okay,
one.
maybe I wasn't like that type of 11-year-old, but to do that at 11, to be like,
I
you
know.
have to jump in the
Jumping
pool naked.
naked.
Wild.
First of all, I would never do that. Second of all, I would never tell another 11-year-old to do that.
I know,
Like, that's
that is
crazy.
a little
crazy.
That's a little wacky.
That's
wild. I don't know
These
about
kids
that.
are wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wild.
They're wilding out in this
Yeah,
camp.
it's because they're a bunch of like rich kids.
Yeah.
So they're
Yes.
like, there's, you know what I mean?
And then
Yeah.
the final hit of their rivalry is when Hallie does all that stuff to the room.
Oh,
Yes.
iconic.
I know.
Frank.
I
Like
love
they
it.
wake up and it's the shaving cream and everything. I wrote down the honey.
The
I
honey.
would
Could you
kill, I would
imagine?
kill myself.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way she wakes up and she goes, ew. Oh my god, it scarred
The
me as a
feet,
kid.
And then the way, like,
Yes.
the balloon.
Yeah.
The way she steps into the balloon
Yes.
also
No,
sends me every
yeah.
time.
Yes,
And
very
then-
that.
And then the Marvas come because
They're
they're like,
like,
what's
"Hi,
going on?
Marva, and you pack your bags. And,
Isolation
cabin.
cabin.
and they have to go up there and they're like,
Which is crazy that they're like, I guess they're not living up there by themselves. They're just rooming
But
up there.
they're
Like
kind
they can
of far
stare,
from,
they're
like,
away
far.
because they
Yes.
do it on their hike there. They drop them
Yeah.
off while the whole camp is hiking, and they're
Well,
like, "You guys stay here." And it's
When
like,
I was
damn.
when I
Yeah.
went to summer camp,
Mhm.
we were in our cabins alone. We didn't have an adult in there.
Wait,
Oh,
really?
really?
That's
There
crazy.
was probably, I think there was like 6 girls
Yeah.
in a cabin,
Mm.
and we didn't have. And
An
I
adult.
don't remember how far away things were from each other, but
Yeah.
now that I think about that, that's kind of wild.
yeah.
I can't remember when we
Not
went
having
to
an
cabin
adult?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember a big spider at camp.
I don't-
That's
I don't
really
know
and
Catalina.
that's when
I
I
think it was,
got
like, down
caught
the
on
hall
the
or something like that.
rock climbing wall. I've told you that
Oh,
story.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's embarrassing.
We all have camp trauma.
Yeah,
I know,
camp trauma.
literally.
Camp trauma.
We'll do a whole video on
Yeah,
camp
yeah,
trauma.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And then they kind of start to bond.
Mhm.
Because also, how do they have enough time to put all their posters on the wall?
I know.
I know.
Like,
well,
are
I
you
guess they're
supposed to
not
be doing an
allowed to do.
activity?
No,
Oh,
they
yeah,
can't.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're
they
right.
can't do
Oh,
activities.
yeah, and it's 8 weeks.
Yeah.
true.
Which is
Crazy. I know.
I
it's
wanted. I
long.
was like over it for a 5-day.
Yeah.
I know. Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
especially
gosh.
across the country, both of them are on opposite.
She's in a different country.
yeah,
Yeah.
like she's in a different
Crazy.
country,
Which is also
and then
so funny that, I mean, kind of minor spoiler for later, when she's like, oh, you and dad sent us to the same camp. I'm like, why would this English mother send her kid to America?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Unless there was
California
some
has different state
history
accents,
of
but
some sort.
And
English-
so by coincidence too,
Like,
like
I mean, like also
wacky.
rich.
no,
I
literally.
know.
Maybe it was like the best one around, and
Best
they both,
one around.
yeah,
Yeah.
they found it, and they
Even
were like,
tie-dye
"Ooh."
girls giving rich.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
They
yeah.
all look rich. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why.
Work divas.
Yeah.
And
But
so
then they start hanging up posters, and then she's like, "You don't know Leonardo DiCaprio? And how far away is England? Like, she
Read
doesn't
it
know
all.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, kinda
That's wacky."
And then she's like, I like a really weird snack. I like to eat Oreos, and peanut butter.
butter.
And then she's like, I do too.
Oh,
Yeah.
do taste.
Which I've never tried. We've both never tried,
I
but I
haven't
want to
either.
try it.
It tastes
so.
like what you would think it tastes like.
yeah,
Drop in the comments if you've tried it.
yeah.
I feel like it would taste like a Snicker or something.
Yeah, like it,
Yeah,
it tastes
yeah,
like,
like
a
a
chocolate
chocolate
and
and
peanut
peanut
butter.
butter combination.
And then with
Reese's
like
peanut
a, yes,
Yeah.
right there.
right there.
And then they start talking about their parents. She's like,
Right.
Yeah.
what's your mom like?
Yeah.
What's your dad like?
And
Yeah.
she's like, "Is that a picture of your dad?" And he's backwards, looking
yes.
at the villa or whatever. And what is it? What makes them like reveal?
Because the one one of
they
them
have
has the
hat.
one that lives with the mom has the picture of the
The
dad.
dad.
But the reason why that comes up is one of them is like, oh, well, I'm turning 12 on October 11th.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
I'm turning 12 on October 11th. She's like, oh, interesting. La, 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 la.
Like you
Yeah,
guys.
I
How
only
would
grew
you,
up with
like,
my
not
dad.
know?
Exactly.
You know?
I know
Yeah.
they're still like,
like, do you guys
October
just
11th.
not know what twins are?
I
Like,
know.
are y'all good? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And I
and-
literally wrote, if my parents, when they reveal, they're like, and then they're like, "That's my mom, that's my dad," and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh."
Because they both have this, they both have the picture that was
Right.
taken at the opening scene.
Yeah.
It's ripped in half, and they put it
Put it
together, and they're like, oh,
Mhm.
family.
I literally wrote that scene makes me cry.
Yeah.
When they find out that they're twins, because like we've talked about this. It's literally criminal of you to
Yeah.
split up twins.
It's terrible.
That's what I
Like-
wrote down. I said, if my parents ever did that to me, if they split us off and then said that the other one never existed, I would be
Dude, that's like
pissed.
insane. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what fight made them do that. But
Sure.
like, and then even I don't want to spoil it for later.
Yeah.
But
It's the Parent Trap, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But it's just like
They've had time.
it's just crazy.
It's
Like
crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's like fucked up.
Yeah.
No, it's
literally.
that's trauma.
I said.
Like,
I was
yeah.
like,
these kids are
traumatizing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the thing I was talking about earlier about not understanding. So then it goes on to them being like, well, maybe, I should go with mom and you should go with dad and blah, blah, blah. That's why it's called the Parent Trap. I did not know that the Parent Trap was called the Parent Trap because they are trapping their parents into getting back together. I'm not joking. I
That's what
literally.
it is when you parent trap your parents.
No, I'm not joking.
As a kid of divorce, I understand what parent trapping your parents
For some
means.
reason, like sometimes like names of
didn't
movies
know
like
that?
go over my head. I'm not joking. Like
So the Lion King is called the Lion
like,
King.
but you know how things just kind of like go over your head sometimes. You know how you like
Yeah.
you like make words mush together.
Yeah.
In my head, the Parent Trap wasn't the Parent Trap. It was the Parent Trap. So
Right.
it wasn't.
You
In my
just
head,
never
I
really-
never separated the
Yeah.
words until they literally. I guess I did know, but it just wasn't the most like realized.
It, like, really clicked.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're trapping their parents into not only
Because they
tricking
say-
them, but it's to get them back together. That's
Yeah.
the
Yes.
trapping part. So that's what I didn't
Because they say to
understand.
each other, they're like, well, if we
That's what I
switch,
didn't get.
yeah, they say if we
Oh
switch
my
places, eventually they have to switch us back, and we have
Exactly.
to be together.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
screaming.
In my
I
head,
know.
I think it was more like the Parent Trap in terms of like they're just switching.
Right.
They weren't necessarily plotting to get them back together.
I
But
see, yeah,
then
yeah.
I rewatched it and I was like, oh, they are plotting to.
There's a lot of stuff watching it this
Yeah.
time. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, literally. I
Like,
was like,
things clicked.
I get it now.
Which the last time I watched it was at your guys' house.
Oh really?
In the jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
Oh, last
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
Where our group chat jacuzzi buddies.
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Oh,
That's
cute.
true.
I know, cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so then they decide we're gonna switch.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
camp is over.
Yes.
And do we go to London?
We're
first?
going. Yeah,
We get
we're in
that-
London
We
first.
go to the sun. Dee-dee-dee-dee.
Is it Here Comes the Sun?
Or no, there
Not yet.
she
Oh, that's what it is.
I was like,
That
I
is in a
think
second.
That's later. That's
That's
later.
later,
Yeah.
Yes.
So Miss Hallie is in London.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Hallie is
Annie.
pretending to be Annie.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, with the mother.
With
Yeah.
the mother.
That-
Elizabeth James.
Elizabeth James. The
The house.
Beautiful.
I know.
And just
Gorgeous.
her vibe. Like,
The
I want to be
aesthetic.
her when I grow
Elizabeth
up.
James.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this can't just be me, and we kind of talked about this yesterday.
Okay.
And I know that this is kind of a phenomenon for American children.
Mhm.
In my head, when you say Princess Diana,
Oh, I know.
the first person I
was gonna
see
bring that up.
is not Princess Diana
Diana.
Spencer.
Natasha, yeah.
The first person I see is Natasha Richardson.
Same.
Yeah.
Another icon lost too soon.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, she's Diana. Like, I'm going to
okay,
tell my
it's
kids
funny
that this was Princess
Because I
Diana.
heard about people
Yeah.
talking about that. I never experienced that.
Did you not?
Because I didn't even really know, like, I'm obsessed with the royal family now, but I wasn't
Right.
before. So I only knew her as her. I didn't know
Uh-huh.
what Princess Diana looked like. So when people started telling me that they thought it
That
was
she
her,
was-
I was
yes.
like, I guess that makes sense.
It's a hilarious phenomenon that
I
like kids
know.
our age have experienced because like it's not like we saw some of Princess Diana, but not really
Yeah.
because she already was like
Passed
dead
away,
by
yeah.
the time we like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also know that like when Natasha Richardson has passed away, so I
Uh-huh.
think that's also part of it.
Yeah, it just
There's, like,
kind of
a
I think
weird,
she
like-
died
blended.
in 1997.
Who?
Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I, for a while, believed I was her reincarnated.
My sister's named
Well,
after
word.
her.
Really?
My sister's middle name is Spencer after her.
Oh,
Bitch, I know I'm
cute.
jealous.
I love that. Yeah.
Mhm.
What's your middle name?
Louise.
Oh, it is.
Hi,
oh,
French.
yeah, it's
Bonjour.
cute. Yeah.
Louise.
Yeah,
Louise.
French.
I
She's
love
giving French.
Oh,
She's
our
giving
middle
French.
names match. Twinnies.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You are twins, you're right.
Because our normal names don't match because our parents were like, we don't want you guys to be weird twins that have matching names. So it's Nicole and Kristen, but our middle names match. It's Michelle and Danielle.
Oh, cute.
And
Yeah.
it also matches with Rangel.
Yeah, so like it's Nicole, Michelle, Rangel, Kristen, Danielle, Rangel.
That's cute.
Oh my god.
Hers is Monique.
Yeah,
Monique.
random. Tatiana Monique Alvarez,
Ooh.
TMA 25, the brand.
Oh,
We all got a lot
Right.
of syllables going on.
I
Yeah.
know, like, damn, reel
Yeah.
it in, mom.
Not literally.
Okay, anyways.
But then, yeah, so then Natasha gets the call, Elizabeth James, her whole
Mhm.
aesthetic, I love.
It's so
No,
She's
cute.
literally.
all like, would you mind going to a photo shoot?
I know.
And I don't know why,
I
but
know.
the nostalgia in me, I literally wanted to start crying.
I know.
It's so
I
hard.
know.
This is
And
when we
it's
get
like,
the-
da-da-da,
Yeah, and they do the Abbey Road,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
With the woman with the hat.
Yeah.
I know.
And she's like, which one?
Did
which
you
one?
see that TikTok? That
Yes.
was like, it would have ended the universe if she picked the black
Black
one.
Oh,
Because she
no.
gives her the option
Yes.
of like the white and the black.
Yeah.
And those pictures she takes with the like
I
bride.
know.
She's like, come
cute.
on.
And she's wearing a little blue suit, Lindsay Lohan.
Oh
like,
my
it's so
gosh,
cute.
something blue.
Yeah.
This is also where we get the third gay of the movie.
Ew.
Oh, in the
The
photo
butler.
shoot?
Oh, the butler.
The butler.
Yeah, yeah.
The butler. The third gay.
Yeah.
The butler.
Martin.
Which they
Martin.
try to pass him off as like having
Oh,
a thing
I
with
have
Chelsea.
notes.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
notes.
yeah,
We'll get there,
We'll
we'll
get
get
to the
there.
fourth gay of the
We'll
movie.
get there.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
But then when they're walking back and she's like, they're talking and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, like, I want to know more about my dad, blah, blah. And she's all, why does sudden curiosity about your dad? Like, blah, blah. Of course she wants to know about her dad.
Yeah.
Like, why are you being
You
like,
haven't said a thing for 12 years.
no, literally. And she's
Yeah.
like, well, where is he from? Like, you
She's
know,
like, I
who
want to talk
is-
about the F word. And she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
I did that. Yeah, that
What did they
word.
teach you at camp?
Yeah.
That's what she says.
Oh my gosh.
And the fact that she's like so awestruck and she's trying to avoid it altogether, like I don't want to talk about your father. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay, that's a little sus. Like,
Right.
you should tell your kid about her dad.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Like, girl, you're
And he's
keeping
all-
a twin and her father away from her.
No, literally.
No, literally.
And she's all, he's an American, you know? And she's all, no kidding. I love that
She's
part.
so funny.
I know.
And I think it's also really wild the idea of taking a boat because you're too afraid to fly. That's what she said. She's like,
Yes.
we both were taking a ship because we weren't keen on flying.
Flying.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Hi,
You're
money.
gonna be
There
on
are
that
some people
boat
that do
across the
that.
Atlantic
that's
for like
wild.
30 days. No
That's
thanks.
giving my grandma immigrating from the UK.
No,
There you go.
Whatever. How I don't know how long ago that was. But a long time ago.
A long time ago.
On the- Queen Elizabeth.
Ah,
I think I could be
Wow,
making that
there
up.
you go.
I think.
Could be making that
I
up.
think.
Just for
Just for fun.
For the drama.
For the drama.
For the drama.
For the plot.
But then
No, I think that's right.
after that,
They go to Napa.
Yeah, they go to Napa,
Mhm.
and then Annie gets off. But the thing that's hard, obviously, because she's a young actress, whatever, there are times where I think that, yes, she's trying to pretend to be Annie playing Hallie, but in my head, I'm really like, no, that's Hallie. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's like the issue with that half of the movie is like, I forget that they're not
They're-
supposed to be that kid.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what
Sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's so young. It's like, how do you convey that?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
In every
She's
scene.
literally.
I don't see it in the eyes.
Yeah, I don't
kinda
give me
missed
more.
that.
I need more subtext.
Yeah, I missed that from the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Introducing.
She needed a little, you know.
Subtext. This bitch is literally carrying the whole movie
Yeah.
on her
on
back.
her damn back.
And
But
we
she
do
gets in the
stand
car. The dad takes her to the
Dennis
house.
Quaid.
Dennis
Yeah.
Quaid,
She
very
meets
charming in this
Jesse.
You know,
movie.
I'm obsessed with his son. You know who his son
Huh?
is?
No.
Oh,
Jack
yes.
Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
What?
Him
How do you-
and
you
Meg
like him?
Ryan's.
He's an actor.
Him and Meg Ryan's son.
What?
I'm trying
He's
to
in The
think of-
Boys.
He's in the.
Oh,
or
I mean,
the
isn't
blonde
everyone
one?
in that
The
cast
main
just like
blonde
so
guy?
hot?
Oh no. Never
If,
mind.
if you saw a picture of him,
He's
you
I
would.
do.
Oh
No
no
way.
way. Oh, you think he's cute?
Yeah, you know.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he's cute.
That one,
No,
I,
sound
you
like an
guys,
awful
I like
person.
was drinking my water and it stuck in my throat because that one really was like a shocking to me.
He's cute. He's just not
That one
like
like
she
hurt
said.
me.
He just not
Interesting.
interesting. I don't feel the same, but
He's in a really funny movie called like Plus One. Have you seen that movie? It's a rom-com. You guys will love it. He's in it.
Love
It's
me a
really
rom-com.
funny. And it's
Yeah.
cute because like
I'm trying
he's
to
like
think
doing
of
his
what
mom's
else.
thing because like his
Yeah.
mom's Meg Ryan. It's
Aw.
so cute.
I love that.
Slay.
I
But
love
it's
Meg
okay if
Ryan.
you don't.
Isn't he the one who his hands rip off in The Boys?
No, he's the one whose girlfriend's hands were off.
Oh,
in
his
The
girlfriend.
Boys.
Yes, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not caught up with The Boys, but
I
yeah.
I was like, I don't watch that show.
I
That's a
only
lot.
know that scene. So
Yeah, I watched like
Yeah.
the first like 3 episodes.
I'm shaking his head.
What was I gonna say?
Was it about the boys or was it about the Parent Trap?
No, it was about the parent.
The
Oh,
Parent Trap.
Dennis Quaid.
Yes.
I had it. This is so just a side fun fact. I remember having like a computer science teacher in elementary school who had a framed photo of her and Dennis Quaid on her desk.
Stop.
No.
Work
And like everybody knew that she was
Work
obsessed with
diva.
him.
That's
So
funny.
every time I see Dennis Quaid, I like think about that.
Your
Yeah.
science teacher.
Isn't
so
that
But
so
then we
funny?
get the probably the most iconic person to ever
Meredith
exist, Meredith. What's her last name?
Blake.
Meredith Blake. And the
Yeah.
fact that she's 26
I was
makes
just gonna
me
say that.
scream.
Jump
I'm like,
She's not 26.
no, like
jump
32
scare.
at least.
32.
I'm
yeah.
older than
least.
her. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely
I'm like,
not.
do I need to be in my Meredith Blake era?
No,
literally,
Am I
in a
supposed to
few
be
months.
dressing like that?
I
And
know.
Do you get those TikToks? I was like, she's not the villain. Do you get that?
She's
I
not
also
the
was
villain.
writing those same notes.
Were you really?
Yes, I was.
Oh, interesting.
I'll speak on
I
her more
understand
in a
that.
second. Because we're also introduced, we kind of get a silhouette of her. First, we're introduced to Chessie.
Chessie,
Yeah.
which
Fourth
I'm my
gay of
Chessie
the movie.
court.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
fourth
we
gay
love-
of the
Fourth gay of
movie.
the movie.
Yeah.
Icon.
Yes,
So
icon.
I'm like, I want to know. I need a backstory of like Chessie and like what she's.
Like,
I
because
know.
what is she?
'Cause
She's
what is
known
she?
him
She's
She's like the nanny,
And she
but like
cries when she realizes
Oh.
later, like.
That
So
part
I'm
kills
like,
me.
what is this? Are
Like
y'all
a
just
deep
besties?
friendship.
Did you guys-
Yeah,
I'm
who
wondering
knows?
maybe if they were like friends and then he's like, hey, I don't have a wife around. Can you be like a permanent nanny? I need someone to cook.
Well,
you know, I
I
have
feel
my
like
business.
it really makes sense if she's like, I'm a lesbian. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, it's true, it's true.
That's where it really makes sense.
Also, I want to
Literally.
say something cool. Me and Kristen actually dressed up as Hallie and Annie for Halloween like maybe 3 years
I
ago.
remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And we posted a picture, and the woman who plays Chessie
I love
commented
her.
on it.
Oh my
and
God.
was
then
like,
she
"This
goes,
is
where's
so-
Chessie?
Yeah, where's Chessie? This is
Yeah.
so
I would've been your
cute."
Chessie.
I know. It was cute.
It was cute.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Lisa Ann Malter?
I don't
You
know.
better work, Diva.
I
believe
think
you.
she's in
I
Abbott
bel-
Elementary. Icon.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay,
that's
work.
cool.
Icon.
She was also in my favorite movie, Shall We Dance? She's so funny in that.
Yeah. Ugh, iconic.
But yeah, then she talks to Meredith, and then she goes inside, and she's like, "Jesse, you gave me a fright."
Yeah.
Gave you a fright. Oh, and then we get our fifth gay man of the movie too. Because
Right.
that's the guy with in the
Meredith.
golf cart.
Yeah.
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Meredith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also Chessie alludes to Meredith going after
The
Nick
millions
Parker
of
because
reasons.
of the millions of
Yes.
dollars in his bank account.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we get the scene in the pool where Hallie or
Oh, yeah. We skip
yeah,
it.
It's
Annie,
Annie being Hallie.
Annie being Hallie, kind of interrogating her.
Mhm.
She's like,
I'll give you the
What?
411.
right.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's being Meredith Blake is being bad.
I think too, she came in like Annie came in with a lot of heat. So to
Yes,
get
which
that from an 11,
understandably
like
so.
understandable, but to get that from an 11-year-old who hasn't been around the past 8 weeks.
months. Yeah, 8 weeks.
Yeah, which, and I'm not saying like she's the best person ever, but to get that immediate, like, I hate you, like, what can you do?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And she's pretty nice to her.
Yeah,
Meredith
at
Blake,
first she is, yeah.
At first is pretty nice.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like,
But it's personally, I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
Well, only because it's shown later, but the way she
Right.
talks to him or talks about him to her parents later
Right.
on,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I was all,
But
oh, yeah.
at the same time,
Mhm.
not to sound bad, but if I was like, I mean, I am the same age as her,
Uh-huh.
and I had this
hot
man millionaire that was gonna marry me, and
Yeah.
his daughter was gonna, I would be kind of
But
mad too.
also, I would do my best to make that little girl my best
Me
friend.
too.
I feel like
Yes.
you'd
I
have
think
to
she
kinda-
approached it wrong.
It's like
approach
a,
it wrong, yeah.
exactly. You
You're
gotta
my
be
new
like,
best friend. We're
motherly.
I'm gonna take you and we're
We're
gonna
gonna
go
go
do fun
shopping.
stuff.
Yeah. Take the girl shopping.
Like in Enchanted.
Exactly.
Like, you know how she,
Enchanted.
that kind of vibe.
But I'm also like, girl, I'd be kind of pissed too.
Yeah, no, I would too.
Like,
Especially because
she
they're
had a
already
good thing
plotting
going.
to put the parents back together. I'd be like, you're
Exactly.
ruining the plans.
She had a good thing going.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
really did. But then we get the moment with the other guy.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
assistant.
Well,
I'm gonna
Chessie cries first, no?
No, not yet.
just
No.
kidding. Oh, okay.
because
he's trying to tell her
Oh,
that
you're
they're
right.
gonna get married, and she keeps like pushing it off.
You're right. You're right.
Right.
Okay.
My favorite is when she said something about YOU, and then the
yeah.
the little girl's like, "Yeah, she could spell you. She sounds like a great
I know,
sister."
that was
And it's
so
like,
funny.
sister.
You.
No, we're wife, mama, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Wait, huh?"
Because he's like, I want to make her part of the family,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's like,
Which
I would love an older sister.
Yeah, I know she's definitely. It's so funny though, because I can't tell if she's really thinking she'll be the sister. I'm like, you can't be that dumb. But
No,
then
I
when
think
she,
she was being facetious.
Yeah.
yeah, but then it's funny because when she reacts like she had no
And then she's
idea.
speaking
I'm
like
like,
French.
You had,
She's like, blah, blah, blah.
you had
Yeah.
an idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's speaking French, and he's like, what the hell? Why are you speaking in
Yeah.
French?
yeah.
But yeah, that's when right before that is when Chessie, we kind of went
Yeah,
backward,
crazy,
went,
a little
all
kooky
over the
bananas.
place.
But being young and beautiful is not a crime, is what Meredith says, and I just have to say, work diva.
You're right. But let's not forget the iconic moment where she's like, "You gave me a fright."
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, this is where we kind of
Yeah. This scene,
Mhm.
like me and Kristen talk about it all the time. This scene, it like breaks my heart. Like there's just
Yeah.
something I feel like empathetically as like you're seeing this person for the first time that you thought was, this other girl and you had forgotten about her, like a twin.
yeah,
Like imagine that you say you were friends with me like my whole life, and then Kristen comes along and she's pretending to be me,
It's
but you knew
wild.
of her,
it's wild.
and you were like, "You're
And
not
I'm
Nicole,
sure
you're
too,
Kristen."
Chessie babysat
No,
them
it's true.
together.
Yeah.
You know
it
what I
seems
mean?
like an aunt figure.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
I'm
I'm
sure she
thinking
knew
is
them
they
when they were little.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking is they split up when they were not infants, but maybe like 3 years old or something. So
Yeah,
I'm sure,
like 2 or 3.
I'm sure Jessie spent time with them.
Right.
Both of them
Like
together.
for 3 years and was like, these are the twin babies. And then to have them split up and never see
Well,
that
she
other one
says
again.
the last time I saw you, you were in diapers.
Yeah.
So they must have been probably like two.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can't
Yeah.
imagine 3 because you're kind of coherent at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. totally.
But she says to her, she's like helped her. Like
Yeah.
she babysat, she took care of them.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God. Like,
And then she's like, can I hug her?
the way she's crying, her
upper makes me-
acting.
Yeah. Oh, it
So
kills
good.
me.
It's so
I will say
beautiful.
too, I kind of am mad that Chessie has a better reaction than
Then the parents
later
do.
on that
Uh-huh.
the parents do.
Yeah.
She has
She
Because
does.
when the parents find out, they're like,
Huh.
oh my gosh,
She does the
no
best
way.
reaction.
Like
And
they don't even cry.
Yeah, and Chessie's like, and it's like, that's your baby. Like, you're not going
Mhm.
to give a bigger reaction, you know,
Yeah.
than your
Yes.
nanny.
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
She
Yeah.
ate that. She ate. in
She
that
did.
She ate with that one.
Yeah, she
she
did.
ate with that one.
She did.
It's so beautiful. And
Yeah.
then that's when we get the wife. And she's like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
fuck? And then she speaks in French. And he's
Uh-huh.
like, this is all weird, but okay, sure.
Right.
Everything's
yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then jump over to London.
Mhm.
They're at dinner. Kooky bananas. Things happen, and then she's like, "I need to go
gets
make a phone
fax.
call."
Yeah.
Yes, with the
A
dog.
fax.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Hi, 1998.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets
1998.
fax.
And then the grandpa is
Mhm.
all like, I think we need to talk.
Yeah.
Something's up.
Grandpa
Yeah.
figures it out.
Yeah.
And then she goes upstairs and she's like,
I need to go find
I have to go out.
Howie.
I have to go to the country.
"You have to go out
And
of
she's
the
like-
country." And she's like, "You do for what?" And
she's like,
then something about something, and then she's like, "No, I have to go to Napa." Right? Is that what
Yeah.
she says? And then she's like, "Because
to see my dad.
to see my dad because Annie is with my dad."
Yeah.
In
And
Napa or
she's
something
like,
that.
Huh?
Yeah. And she's like, "Wait a minute." And she pulls the bed sheet over, and
Oh.
then she's like, "You're Hallie?" Oh my gosh, that part also makes me cry.
I know.
Like that's.
I just feel like as the mom, though,
I know she
wouldn't
should have
you
had
be
a more.
bawling? Like
I would've been
that's
crying.
your other baby.
I
like,
wonder if it's also too like at some point it's like such you're like
Disassociate.
dissociating.
Yeah,
yeah,
You're
maybe she
like,
had to like.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
later she turns to drinking.
I
So-
know, yeah,
So
that's
she's
But I
like-
thought she started drinking because of her ex.
It's probably all.
not
I
the
think
all
probably all of it.
Yeah,
That's a
maybe
lot of
The woman's
information.
stressed.
Yeah.
She is
She's
stressed.
going through a lot.
But then, yeah, so
They-
basically they planned the trip to
And what sent me
Napa.
was she calls them. She's like, "Well, it's not my fault. You guys had his and hers kids."
Oh yeah.
His and hers kids.
That's funny. I didn't even hear that line.
Yes.
When she says this arrangement really sucks or
Yeah.
something like that.
She's like, that was a bad idea. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, it's kind of like abuse, no?
To even
No,
split up just
literally.
siblings is
Yeah.
crazy.
I know.
It's
You know
what I mean? So
crazy.
wild.
Yeah, like they're supposed to make it all like cute.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, we are gonna see each other, and I would have been crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on in my life right now?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And this is one of my favorite scenes is when she has the rollers in her hair.
And she's
with
packing.
the
Yeah, she's like
glasses,
this with the cigarette, right?
with the cigarette. It
Yeah.
is so iconic.
She's so
iconic.
I look like a mess. Don't
Mhm.
answer that.
And he's like,
Yeah.
this is the perfect dress.
Oh, if I had legs like you,
Yes.
madam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that it's like a black dress. It's giving revenge dress. It's
Yeah,
giving
literally.
Yeah. Full circle.
Yeah.
Full
So
circle.
cool. And then she
Yes.
shows up at the hotel, which, mind you, the daughter didn't say. Like, she thinks that the dad knows that they're coming.
Yes.
And they he
Boy,
does
does he
not.
not.
Yeah.
Boy, does he not
And
know.
we get the iconic like scene of them all kind of like they're crossing paths, but they never like see each other
Right, yeah.
until this girl's drunk, by the way.
Yeah. But she, honestly, she holds herself, she makes herself look cute. Because
Uh-huh.
not only is he in the elevator with a slinky girl on his arm and he's like staring at her like this, she's like,
She's so
iconic.
composed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because she's literally falling apart, but she doesn't look like it.
She
like,
pulls it together so
Yeah.
She
quick.
pulls it together.
that
She's
would
like,
not be me. If I saw that and I was drunk, I'd be like,
Oh, no.
I'd be like, what is happening?
And then she's like, Annie Holland, what the fuck?
Exactly. And she's like, what is going on? She runs upstairs.
Yeah, and then they kind of like, yeah, sorry, we didn't tell him.
Yeah.
And then this is when we get Chessie and Martin
Yes.
meet
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
And they try to
Yeah.
convince us that they have a crush on each other. But
I'm
I'm like,
like,
no.
lies.
No,
Nothing
you guys
but
are
lies.
besties.
Those are two queer besties.
Yeah, you
And I
guys are
love
Janice
it.
and
And
what's-
Damien.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are
from
two
Migos.
besties, and I
Yeah.
live.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Um,
I literally said, stop forcing these gays to be in love.
I think I said the same thing.
But that same
Stop
note.
forcing it.
I said, no, please don't try to force this hetero relationship onto us. They are both gay.
Hey, even when they're on the ship and they're like stuck next to
Yeah,
each other, I was
I'm
like,
like,
why
yeah.
does this make me
Yeah.
uncomfortable?
Feel it's not
This is
right.
a little
Yeah.
wacky.
Please.
Then the girlies are at the bar, and then
Yes.
she's like, Elizabeth James, I
Yeah.
want you to. Oh
Design
my
my
gosh,
wedding
I just saw your
Yeah.
dress in Vogue.
Yeah.
What is
And
she
they're like,
drinking?
"Ah."
Bloody Mary?
Elizabeth, no, she's drinking like some concoction to help her hangover or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
It
she like
might be a
burps
Bloody
at,
Mary,
and she's
though.
like,
Yeah, I
oh
think
my
it is a
God.
Bloody
It's a
Mary, but
Bloody
it's
Mary.
like
It's
mixed
like a-
with extra.
Yeah, it's like a
some-
hair of the dog situation, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Icky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, icky. Of course they spell the whole thing. Oh, and then this is when they kind of all start crossing paths, and they have to literally spell the whole thing out for the
Yeah.
dad because
Uh-huh.
of course.
Yeah.
But the way he looks at Elizabeth before he falls in the
Oh my
pool,
gosh,
Oh,
but she's
it's
like
so
running in
sweet.
slow mo,
I
putting on her
know.
glasses.
Like he's so in love.
Uh-huh.
And he's like falls in, he's all, oh, and he like cracks his head.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
boy.
yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
whoa,
Crazy.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, crazy.
Dang.
And then they start,
Oh, I wrote not speaking in 10 years. Like that's crazy.
Wild.
Crazy.
especially when you have kids.
And when
like,
you're sharing, like
Mhm.
just insane.
it's just crazy.
Yeah. And when they're like, "You're not mad," and it's like, oh, they couldn't be mad because it's their fault.
yeah,
Like they're
literally.
the ones who came up with this insane arrangement.
Yeah.
Like
whatever.
y'all need to find a therapist immediately.
Yeah.
Family therapy.
Family
now.
therapy,
Family
please.
Yeah. So then the girlies set them up like on a date, which
Yeah.
is so insane because he still is engaged.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
know.
And it's funny too, because right before that, they're like, well, you have to tell us apart first, which is like what we were saying before is like, if you spend time with one twin, you're going to know the difference.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
it's
Right.
so funny that they're like, the dad's like, this one's
you're-
Hallie. No, this one's Hallie. And then they're like, well, I guess you're going to have to like find out later when we tell you. It's like, no, you would know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
sure.
one
is
that.
which.
This is what is it called? Like a twin fable, whatever. That we're like
Oh yeah, break the
Yeah,
give us the
very-
twin facts.
Yeah, the
Twin
twin
facts.
facts. If you grow up with only one twin, or you start to know one twin more than the other, you will be able to tell them apart very
Yeah.
easily
Yes.
because you only know that one twin.
Like we have a lot
space.
of friends that only know one of us.
Yeah,
So
Uh-huh.
when they
we were
see the other one, they're
separate-
like, that's not her.
Because
I know that's not her.
We worked
Oh.
at Disney.
Yeah.
We were two separate restaurants. So I was
Yeah.
at Cafe Orleans and she was at Ariel's Grotto back when it was a thing. So every time her Ariel Grotto people saw me, they were like, "That's not Christen," and
Yeah.
when my Cafe Orleans people saw her, they were like, "That's not Nicole." So
How
They just
funny.
know.
Yeah,
I think because you're so
Mhm.
used to seeing like one
one particular
Right.
face, but
Sure.
then when you grow up with both twins, it's really difficult because you're like,
Yeah.
"I don't
Right. Like at
know."
Disney when we would see both of you. When you
Exactly.
guys after you guys transferred. Then it's like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah, then it gets a little
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
Although if you figure it out quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
I
feel
feel-
like it depends on how much time you spend with
True.
both of us too,
Yeah.
because I feel like you spend a lot of time with us, whereas
True.
like Tati doesn't.
Yeah,
for
I'm
you,
like-
you're like, no, I
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. Interior designer dream work.
Exactly.
One is on.
Yeah.
DreamWorks.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good way to think.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's
Oh
why I
my
would tell
gosh.
people for the longest time when like one of us had blonde hair.
Yeah.
I'd be like, right now, Nicole is blonde.
Yeah.
So if you see
Oh,
brunette,
okay.
whatever. But then we would switch, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm
But
blonde
that's
now.
that's what they were at Disney for a long time. They had different hair colors.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But then
Yeah.
they did switch at one point. So I
Yeah.
think that did
It was difficult.
Your brain is like playing
Screw
rap.
people.
a
I
little
know.
bit. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. They
Okay.
go on the little
anyways.
date.
They go on the date.
Which
Cute.
I thought was wacky, which I wrote down, which I thought was just funny. They drive that car onto the dock.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How?
Wild.
Where
Oh,
are
yeah,
you
they
doing
do,
that?
huh?
How is
Yeah.
that a thing? I was
And
like,
they went to
weird.
Ridge.
Yeah,
They're
I
rich.
guess,
They're rich,
whatever.
rich.
I don't know
That
what
yacht
is
was huge.
dock. That car would go
Yeah.
Right.
like that's scary.
Someone accidentally drives it over. Damn.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Then they take them on the fake Queen 2.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I know, how cute.
And it's really magical.
Yeah,
And
it's
they
really
have such
cute.
beautiful chemistry.
Is this
And-
when they talk about
Yeah.
throwing a hairdryer?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they talk about their little past situation
Yes.
of what happened, but they don't talk about. They were just saying that they were fighting, right? Is
Yeah,
that
they
what
don't
it
really
is?
say why.
Yeah, and
They
then
never say why, really.
she goes, "You didn't come after me," and he said, "I didn't know that you wanted me to."
Which
I wrote that note. I
Such
said
a
it
male
of
thing
course.
to say.
Oh, that made me so angry. Like,
Checking his head.
Like you have twins?
Yeah,
It's
like-
like you don't think the woman who birthed your children
wants you to run after her.
Like,
And that's what I
Oh.
said. I said every woman wants to see that you care and that
Yes.
you're showing effort, even if they're running away saying no, like I'm pissed off, whatever, leave me alone. Like, yeah, give her some time, but she's
Right.
not saying get away from me for life.
Yeah.
not for,
she's
saying
not
come
don't
back.
speak to me for 10 years
She's
and
saying
take one of
come
my
back
twins.
and tell me you're sorry.
Which is such
Like, what the fuck?
a beautiful mirror to the end.
oh,
which we'll get
I
to
know,
later.
I know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I love that.
Yeah, okay, so their date goes well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of.
Kind
They're-
of.
they-
It's kind of like, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it goes like well enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, it's time for them to part ways. But
Right.
the girls are like, nope.
Yeah.
Once again, like you guys cannot split us up, and
Mhm.
you don't know which one's which. You can't take me instead of her, whatever. Pulling a fast one on everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so then they're like we have to go on the camping trip,
Mm.
Mhm.
whatever. And
Which
so
is
then-
funny because they never mentioned this before this
No,
scene.
but they're like, it's our annual.
wait,
And
no, they
no,
do,
they do. They
Yeah,
do.
you-
Mentioned it
yeah.
once.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Hallie, Annie pretending to be Hallie, didn't the dad say something like,
And she
"Our
was like,
camping
"What
trip."
camping trip?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's like,
"The
"Oh,
one
yeah,
we
yeah, I
took every
forgot."
year." Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
LOL.
yeah.
Yes,
I
and.
stand
Which, mind you,
corrected.
this movie's so long. By the time it gets to the second camping trip, I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, no,
I
it's such a
know.
long movie.
And I think it also feels very long because there's there's like four distinct sections to
right.
it.
There's like beginning of camp, and then there's like them in their houses, and then there's
hotel,
hotel,
and then camping.
and then
Camping,
camping.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wild.
Yeah.
But
Um,
Meredith's outfit, her Lululemon, I was like, "You better work, diva."
I know.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
That's what
cute.
I said. Miss Thing's outfit is
I'm like,
everything.
I want
Iconic.
that.
The glasses, the Prada backpack.
Yes, the like clipped
Yeah.
hair.
I
Uh,
love. I
yes.
was like, I want to dress like that on a hike
yeah, right. She's
So the
serving
girls,
looks.
Nick and Meredith,
Yeah.
go camping together.
because the what's her face?
Natasha.
Mom,
Natasha,
is-
yeah.
I was gonna say Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
That's her
No,
name.
it is
That's
her
her
Elizabeth.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So she's like, you guys go. Like,
Yeah.
you have
Which
to get
is
to know the
so-
girls.
If I was the twins, I'd be so
I would look at my
Oh,
mom and be like,
I'd be like,
you're kidding
But
me.
then they're like,
We're gonna do a little planting,
Yeah.
which is the rocks at the beginning. She puts rocks
In the Prada bag.
in the bag, and then
so mean.
I know,
but so smart.
I know,
like
smart.
they're so
and she's like, I
funny.
gotta talk to my personal trainer.
yeah. And then the
lizard.
most, I was gonna say the most iconic scene that literally traumatized me as a kid
Oh,
was
yeah.
the lizard scene.
Mhm.
They
just
literally-
gross, dude.
Yeah, they put the lizard on the water bottle, and then it flies wherever, and then
Puts it on
goes
the
up here,
head,
yeah, and then
yeah.
it goes down her face and in her mouth.
What
The
is like,
legs.
spit it out, spit it out.
Oh, I know.
It's the legs and the tails
Yeah,
for
dude.
me.
Oh,
Every
I
time I
can't
watch
even
that,
think
it
about
makes me like,
Yeah.
cringe.
yeah,
Full
I-
body
know.
cringe.
I want to die.
And then we get to the like campsite, which is so beautiful. I want to know where they
know.
are.
I know.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like by lake and
Yeah.
everything.
It's
So
gorgeous.
nice.
Which I'm like, is it safe to be that close to the lake? I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know.
can't
They're
imagine
really
why
close.
They're
would it
really
be?
close. I don't know. They seem
I mean,
not
if
supposed
it's-
to in case of like bears.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
also, yeah, I don't know. Animals.
I could be so
Like-
wrong.
I'm like,
You-
I don't know.
I have
That's
no
what
idea.
they're
like when she's doing
the mountain
You're like,
lions.
the mountain
like-
lions away.
And they're like, she's like, there is no mountain lions.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. And
Yeah.
then she's like trying to get the mosquitoes away with the spray.
But
And
it's
it's
sugar
sugar and
spray.
water.
They gave her sugar water.
I live. But then
Um,
she like comes over and like kisses Dennis.
Oh,
I was like,
I literally, I think I wrote that down. I said, ew. Like the way that she makes out with their dad in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both like,
absolutely disgusting.
12-year-olds,
Deranged.
11-year-olds.
Yeah.
like,
Deranged.
that's
That's
crazy.
deranged.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm
That's
taking a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sleeping pill
Me.
and going to bed.
Me.
We're
And then
diva.
they drag her into the lake
Iconic.
on her air mattress.
on her air mattress. I said evil, but something I
Evil.
would totally do.
yeah.
I would.
Fucked up of that.
I know, because if you fall, you're asleep and you fall in.
Well,
like
yeah, and
Oh my
too, there
gosh.
was a steady like moving.
Oh, I know. That's
yeah.
the thing
Of
too.
this
If it
current,
was, if
yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
a small lake, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But if it's a stream that like
It-
like a
that
river,
was
like
crazy
yeah,
of them.
and I was like,
They
that's
could have some,
wild.
like, manslaughter charges.
know,
That's
literally.
how.
Oh my
Literally.
gosh! But her
Crazy.
scream
I
when
know.
she
I
wakes
know.
up, and the way it like
Yeah.
echoes through the
Yeah.
whole entire forest.
I love
Iconic.
it.
Also, I love the part when they're like eating and he's like something about Annie Oakley, and then the
Oh, yeah,
British
yeah.
one's
Like,
like, who's
who's
Annie
Annie
Oakley?
Oakley?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And then she
Oh.
crawls out of the lake and she's
Yeah.
like, it's me or them.
Yes.
THEM.
Yeah,
Them.
them. And she's like, what?
Which is
She
so
can't
funny.
believe
It's like
it.
you think he wouldn't pick his kids over you.
Sure.
Like,
I know.
I mean, I
No.
guess 11 years of trauma doesn't show that he would pick both of the
I
kids.
know, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's very true.
He's like, no, I just picked one.
I just
Yeah.
picked one.
He's like, can I have just one?
Yeah, just the one I'm used to, please.
yeah. I also wrote that it's kind of crazy how, like, during the whole, like, the first half, it is really focused on the girls, but I feel like the second half really focuses on the parents.
It's the
like,
Yes.
rom-com.
yeah, they start getting
Mhm.
like their own scenes, and it, like, even the part where, what is it? They're like, I forgot where it is, but they're downstairs.
They're
and,
in the cellar.
Oh, in the wine
yeah,
cellar.
yeah, and but they're what's it called? Playing cards.
Uh,
I totally forget that the kids are part
Uh-huh.
of the movie because
I
I'm like
know.
too
Yes.
focused on the
And they're
parents.
so good in it.
Mhm,
Yeah.
They
yeah.
have their little moment.
It's so
Yeah.
magical. So they get back to the house,
Mhm.
and they're like, she's like, what happened to Meredith? And they're like, oh, she's gone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
Yeah.
And then she's like, they're like, where's Chessie? And they're like, oh, her and Martin went away and
Like,
never came back.
literally
And I'm
sure.
like, no,
They went-
those two, let's be real, they went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yes,
And they
it
went
is.
to
With
go.
the queers,
Yeah.
and they found their own partners and are having a good
100%.
time. They are not together.
No, 100% they're not.
Period.
Stop
Period.
forcing this
Period.
on us,
Period.
please.
Yeah. And then they go down to the wine cellar, mom and dad, and
The
they have a
most
little moment.
dramatic scene down there,
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
soap opera moment when she backs up into the light and she's like,
I know.
And he like has the wine from their wedding. He's like, it took me a long time
Time
to
to
track
find this.
that
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
No,
And then don't they
Wow.
almost kiss? But then Chessie's
Yeah.
like, hello.
She like pulls
Yeah.
up
They-
and you hear the
yeah.
car and he's
Uh-huh.
like, that's just
Mhm.
yeah.
she has
that-
a key and she's like,
And
no.
she has the one tear and she backs up into the light.
Drama.
Like that part, I was
So
all,
dramatic.
That's dramatic.
Yeah, drama.
Yes.
Just kiss.
Yeah.
Just
It's
kiss.
just kiss.
And then they end
Very
up that they're
sad.
moving or they're leaving back to London and
Yeah,
it's like a
they're
rainy
taking-
day.
That scene also
Devastating.
kills
Mhm.
me. Like
Mhm.
I know,
it's
it's
just
so
so
sad.
sad.
It's raining
to
in
see.
California and in London.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, literally. Because
Ugh.
I
Which is
always
so true to right now.
It's funny because every
Right.
time I
We
watch,
should not be paying to live in California.
oh my gosh,
Period.
because
With
it's
the- how
cloudy
many
all the
clouds?
time.
Yeah.
Literally.
But I wrote like it's so sad because I feel like when we watch twin movies, we always kind of like put ourselves in those situations, and when the twins
Aw.
have to hug and they have to separate, oh, that kills me because I'm
I
like,
know.
imagine having to say bye.
That's
to your
right.
twin
Even when
sis-
we watched the last Harry Potter, me and Nicole were like
Oh, I know.
falling because like spoiler when the twins
Yeah,
died.
Fred
And
George.
so
Oh,
like
yeah.
me and Nicole were I've never
was
cried
crying.
so much in a movie
and
before.
even with Avengers with Wanda and
Mhm.
what's it called
Quicksilver.
Oh,
Quicksilver.
yeah.
It's just
When
because you
he
just
dies.
know, like I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
You know
have,
what I
like,
mean?
a- yeah.
You, when she like drops to the floor, Wanda, and she's like screaming, like I can feel that pain because I can imagine that, and I'm like, I
Hi,
hate that. That
love.
makes
Hi,
me like,
sibling love.
no, literally,
Sibling
no,
love.
sibling love.
She's alright.
We don't want.
I'm dead.
But yeah,
That's
so
hilarious.
then they separate and they have that little
Yeah.
sad moment.
Yeah. So then we're in London at their beautiful house,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and they like come in, la la la. getting settled back in.
She's like, grandfather?
Grandfather, there's someone with the newspaper.
She's like, did you know it takes half the time to get here in
On the Concorde, whatever
my
that
gosh,
means.
sure.
Yeah,
I
I
also
know
did
what
she's
she's
saying
there.
there. Is that an airline?
I have no
Maybe.
idea.
Or maybe flying out. Who
I don't know.
knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Private jet, they could afford it.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of thought.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means. But
shaking his head.
I don't know what that means.
It's giving not rich.
Yeah,
It's
we're
giving
not
where are my
rich.
millions.
Yeah.
It's a plane.
It's a
It's a
plane.
plane?
I
Okay.
Concorde's a
It's an
plane.
airline, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
a plane.
it is a
Oh, it's a
plane.
plane.
It's a type of plane.
Oh.
It's a bird. It's a plane. Sorry, we're none of us are aviators. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my
Literally.
dad's
What's it
for
called?
making airplane parts.
Yeah. he's
Oh,
a
Boeing?
aerospace.
Oh.
No, not Boeing.
Oh, Boeing. That's another one.
Yeah.
I was catching up
You
on the
are
conversation.
so right.
Sorry.
You are so right, Diva.
I was like going like this.
I'm an aviator when I go on soaring over California.
You're so
because
best.
Chrome
Bestie.
tells me so.
Sort of the world.
Yes,
Chrome
correct.
tells me so. Chrome tells me so.
But
Oh
then
my
yeah, they're
gosh.
back in London.
And the
then,
dad
Yeah.
shows up and he's like, what do you say? I made the mistake of not chasing you the last time. Yeah, you did, bitch.
Yeah.
Come back.
And
Like,
so they got there. They
know.
went.
And
they're
then they
together.
get married.
I know. And then they're like, this will be. I literally
An
wrote that was like
everlasting
such a cute
love.
ending. That's one of the reasons why I want that song like in my wedding if
Oh,
I ever get
sure,
married. Like
yeah.
that song has to play.
Oh my
Mhm.
god, it's
Nancy
iconic.
Myers uses like all the best music.
Yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
music
all
in
her
this
movies.
movie is really slay.
Yeah.
And
Ah,
it's so
I agree.
nostalgic because when you hear a lot of these songs, you think about this
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's
Especially, I feel like people our age are like, Parent Trap. Or
Yeah.
like, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like the
Everlasting
na-na-na-na,
love gives me.
na-na-na,
Oh, yes.
na-na-na-na-na, you know,
Oh, the handshake?
That always
Uh-huh.
reminds me of this
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which, mind you, we learned the handshake and then we forgot it. So we don't know how to do
Aw,
it.
rip.
We learned it for Halloween.
I remember.
Oh, yeah, we
I
learned it
saw it
for
on your
Halloween.
guys' TikTok.
Yeah. I did
Yeah,
it.
or Instagram.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was kind of
It's
a while
before
back.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Before
Before the before times.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Times.
Aw.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the Parent Trap.
Such a cute movie.
Wow. Thank you for giving us all your
Yay.
twin insights.
More.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Any more twin facts you want to share? This is so
Do you
fun.
have any twin facts? Do you have any?
What's your
Do you-
greatest twin
Think-
fact?
Yeah.
Fact?
Wait,
Um,
I know you guys told me before, but maybe the audience would like to hear.
Oh.
Do you guys like communicate? You guys have like your own.
Well, I feel like so with that,
Yeah.
I feel like we experience so much of everything so similarly because we're passing through life so similarly. I mean, now
Yeah.
that we have separate jobs and stuff, it's a little different.
Right.
But like when we were in school and then we were in college together, like and
You're
doing,
just like going through the same
Same.
thing you're thinking the same way because everyone's like, oh, you can read each other's minds. And it's like, it's not really that.
it's more like she remembers something the exact same
Same.
time I remember it. So we
because
look at
we
each
went
other.
through the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're like,
that makes
we're
sense.
like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but you guys aren't like blah, 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 blah.
Well,
I
no.
understood that.
And when people are like, oh, if she gets hit, do you feel it? Like, no.
But there was
Let's
that
try it
one
out.
time. Not with let's
Just
try.
kidding.
There was that one time, not with hitting, but with we were with people and you said something like, do you remember? And I went, yeah. I didn't even have to say
Yeah.
anything. And I was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then the
Yeah.
people in the room were like, what? You don't know what she's talking about. And I said, let me tell you. And then I said it and they were all, and Kristen was like, yep, that's what I was going to say.
Wow.
Twin fact. Now you guys are twins. Wow.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
man.
I love you guys.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for
Yes.
joining.
Of
It was so
course.
fun. Maybe
fun.
we'll have you guys back like separately if you guys would want, or
yeah,
together
sure.
again.
We
It
could
doesn't
do
matter.
Another
movie?
twin movie?
No,
Yeah,
kidding. I'm sure
we doesn't
there-
have you guys
Are there
for.
really
What's
other
another iconic twin movie?
Mary Kay and Ashley movies? But
Oh,
Oh,
true.
yeah,
I think-
yeah.
I don't really know if there's any other. Oh, I guess like Princess and the Pauper type stuff, but they're not
Just
really
like
twins.
you.
Just like you.
I was gonna say,
Just
there's
like
some movies that are iconic with twins, but they're not always twins. You know, like what's the one with Tia and Tamara where she's her
Twitches?
grandma?
17
Oh,
again.
Twitches. Oh,
yeah,
duh,
Twitches.
But I was
Twitches.
17 again.
too.
She
Okay.
plays her grandma. They're not sisters.
Oh, yes.
That
Yes.
movie's really good.
That's a wild one.
Well, y'all are going to have to come back when we do one of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So you know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment. What?
Where can they find you
find
guys?
us.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys plug whatever you want to plug.
Oh, you go first.
Instagram
Yeah,
at
slay.
Christen Rangel.
Period.
TikTok at Christen Rangel. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, word.
slay.
Nicole on Instagram at Nicole M. Rangel. I put my middle name because someone already took it. It sucks. Also my website, NicoleRangel.com, because I do interior design stuff.
Yeah, she
Period.
does.
And her stuff is beautiful, and she's
Like,
an
literally.
artist.
Thank you. Yes, I
Gorgeous.
also sell my art prints on there. So yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's
you can find me
slay.
there and TikTok too.
Yeah.
Yes.
All Nicole M. Rangel. Whatever.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay, there we
All right.
go.
Well, I'll take it back. Take it back. Comment your favorite song from The Parent Trap.
That's a good one.
That's a fun one.
That's a good
Like, comment, subscribe, and do all the other things that we tell you to do.
Period.
All right.
Stop.
That's
Twins.
Twins.
Not that. I've never seen that
love
movie.
that.
Yeah.
I've never
I've
seen
heard
that
of
movie.
it. I've heard of
Honestly,
it,
we'll
but
do
I've
that
never
Only
one
their
instead.
mother can tell them apart. That is so silly.
Is it Danny DeVito and
Oh,
Arnold
man.
Schwarzenegger?
I think so,
Oh
yeah.
my god,
I've
that's
seen
so
clips
good.
from that, but I've never seen the actual
Oh,
movie.
wild.
But I
funny.
heard it's a good movie.
Oh, I guess
Aw.
you'll have to come back for that good time.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah.
Well,
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being on the
listening.
couch.
Oh yeah, thanks.
And thank you for listening to our
Our
viewing party. Yeah, the jazz hands are necessary. An
An
everlasting love.
love.